Are you thinking about retiring and enjoying a life of leisure? Well, I've got 5 questions that I think you must answer to set yourself up for success. So stay tuned. Hey guys, so welcome back. So today we're out at Tar Kiln Bayou State Park, out for a little bit of a day hike. But what I wanted to talk to you about today are the 5 questions that I think everyone that is considering retirement must answer if they want to set themselves up for success. So these questions that I've come up with are just based off of my experience, and there's no real scientific method that I applied to them, but I think they are based on some level of experience and just general common sense. So the first question that I think everybody needs to address, and probably the most obvious that most people really consider, is how am I going to finance my retirement? You know, when you're working full-time, 20, 30, 40 years, making a good income, eventually when you retire, those paychecks are going to stop. You've got to figure out, how do you plan on financing your retirement? Is it going to be a pension? Is it going to be savings? Is it going to be Social Security? If you're fortunate enough, you're going to have all 3 of those streams of income. Again, how you finance your retirement, it's a very personal question. Each of you will have to look at that and figure that out on your own. But it is the most obvious question that must be answered first. The second question is, what's going to be your purpose in retirement? Once you leave the workforce, what is it that's going to drive you and keep you engaged on a day-to-day basis? Is there a hobby that you enjoy? Do you want to travel like Lisa and I? Do you want to volunteer at a homeless shelter or help out in your church? There's all kinds of things that you can use to establish your purpose in retirement. The third question that's got to be answered, how do you plan to spend your time? Going from full-time worker to full-time retiree, you're going to quickly find out you've got a lot of time in the day. And if you don't have a purpose that you've identified, or you don't have some type of structure to your day, you may find yourself bored sitting around with too much time on your hands. Time can be a good thing, but if you have too much of it, it can make you regret your decision to retire. The fourth question that I think you must answer before retiring is, how do you plan to maintain your social interactions? You know, when you get up and go to work every day, you have those work friends, you have those interactions with your coworkers, your boss, but you're not going to have that anymore. Do you have a network of close friends, maybe some from high school or college, or even some from your workplace that you've been able to really establish a long-lasting, deep relationship? If so, great, but you just need to think through, how are you going to maintain those social interactions? They may not be retiring. They may be a bit resentful or envious that you've retired. For Lisa and I, our challenge has been our full-time travel has prevented us from being able to maintain those daily contacts with individuals and friends and family that we had in the past. But with technology and social media, it's not that difficult to maintain at least a digital social interaction with those family and friends. So I just encourage you to think through that. How do you plan on maintaining those social interactions? The fifth question that I think must be addressed, and arguably probably the most important, is, what do you see as your identity in the future? For many of us, you're going from full-time worker to full-time retiree. You're no longer going to be that plant manager, you're no longer going to be that teacher, you're no longer going to be that military man that you once were for the last 20, 30, 40 years. So what's that identity going to be? Something you got to think through. For Lisa and I, we've identified full-time travelers as our identity. And that is what we plan on doing for the foreseeable future. That doesn't mean our identity won't change during retirement, but at this time and at this place in our life, that's what we see as our identity as full-time travelers, with our purpose of getting out and seeing the country, seeing our family and friends, and enjoying life to the fullest. Hey guys, so that's going to do it for today's video. Again, the 5 must-answer questions before you retire is not an all-inclusive list. If you think I've missed something, please leave it in the comment section below. If you're considering retiring and you've thought of something that I haven't mentioned, please share it with the rest of the viewers and the community. I think it'd be very helpful. Again, if you like this content, please consider giving us a thumbs up. If you haven't already done so, please consider subscribing to our channel. We're going to talk this type of content, retirement, travel, Airstream on this channel. And if you're interested in that, we'd love to have you join the community. And if we don't hear from you, hopefully we'll see you down the road.